Are we live? No.
We are live.
You bleeders, as Dave just said, we are live, and that's it. You're not getting the A team or the B team or even the C team tonight. You get the D team. That's Dave and Dangermouse here on Just Bleed Radio, and I can see we've already got a few people in the chat. Hey up B&B, good to see you here. 1% zombie and Dave Sandy, but he's here with me. Yep. So we're going to talk about whatever we can think to talk about, and hopefully we'll get some questions off you guys because we don't really have that much planned for this evening. But we did say that we would try and get you some content, so here we are. At least two of us are anyway. Maybe someone else will join us. Who knows? So what we're going to talk about first, Dave? You want to talk about heavyweight
Uh,
or?
yeah, we could talk about heavyweight. One thing about this whole Jilton Almeida getting released. I don't know. It's not just like him that got released. Like, remember a couple months ago that that other guy got released. That was maybe not undefeated, but he was coming off a win. Reinhard Bakranov, maybe.
Yeah,
Do you remember him? Yeah.
Fakir,
So they've been kind of I don't know, getting rid of these guys for a while, and some people are pretty excited about it because get the boring guys out of the division. But part of it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like it almost seems like the sport is moving more towards entertainment than sport. And then it just reminds me of how much I hate these contracts. Like I was reading that I think Jolton Almeida had one fight left on his contract after his fight against Rizvan, whoever he fought, that boring guy. And
Could have.
and the UFC promised him a four-fight contract when he accepted that fight. And now he's out of the UFC, so he probably went into that fight thinking, he still had a fight left in his contract and a guaranteed new fight, four-fight deal. And you know, those contracts don't matter at all for the fight. They could just get let go at any time. And I kind of forgot about that. They're really one-sided,
Yeah,
and that's kind of
wasn't the talk of him going down to 205?
yeah. He said he was wanted to try going back down to 205, and I just found it really weird. I looked, and the UFC when he accepted that fight, they say he was offered him a new four-fight contract, and after that performance, just gone. And it's I don't know. Are you okay with the sport moving more towards the entertainment uh, type
I would
thing,
rather,
or?
no, I would rather see it merit based. To be quite honest, I don't dislike the way that matchmaking happens sometimes, but no, I would rather be merit based. That the number one contender gets to fight for the championship. I know sometimes it happens with injuries and stuff that you can't get that, but on the whole, no, I'd much rather see it merit based. And I was going to say something there, and my train of thought was completely dropped from my mind. Um,
Enigma Master here has a good take about trying to improve the division. Yeah, shorter rounds could help. They're not gonna. That's not. I don't think that's really realistic. It would be nice, but they're gonna stick with what the commission says with the 5-minute rounds. My suggestion would be mandatory inhalers in between rounds. But I don't know. It's just disappointing because I don't like. I hate the boring fights.
Oh, that's
You know,
what before I lose my train of thought again. That's what I was going to say. It's kind of the UFC is able to just end the contract and say no. And I know we said you've got another 4 fights, but we don't want you anymore. Off you toddle into the go and join the PFL, do whatever the hell you want. And whereas obviously the fighters, when they want to leave, they can't. So yeah, I can see where that's very very unfair with the contracts. But the actual state of heavyweight, I've got the rankings open now, and there's some, I guess, names on it, but there's nothing. I can't see anyone particularly fantastic in there. Obviously, I had a few hopes for Mick Parkin last year because I picked him in my draft, but he fought once against Spivak, I think, and lost a bad decision in my opinion and a lot of other people's opinion. And then I don't know if he was hurt or what happened, but he didn't fight again for the rest of the year. You've still got Derek Lewis in there, Callison Teixeira. Shamil Gaziev, Volta Walker. Volta Walker is actually vaguely interesting, I suppose. He's at least, come from outside the top 15 at the moment.
Dude is a psychopath. Dude is a legit psychopath. You didn't watch his fight, did you?
I did not know. I've no interest in seeing him fight someone who has no legs.
Yeah, he went in there like he was fighting the most dangerous opponent he's fought in his entire life, and he fucking he tried to squeeze his head off. But no, like it's just annoying because I don't like boring fights, and I hate watching them. And when I see Gentleman in a fight, I hate it. But I mean, he had the contract, and it's like I hate, and just these guys. Some of them are good. I'm not saying Gentleman's good, but some of them are good. But I mean, that's just the sport that we watch. And if they push all those grappler heavy style that aren't doing much damage, we're potentially not really seeing the best fight the best, and it's more of a tailored to the more entertainment side. And, I guess that could help with views and getting people in and all that, but it just kind of moves away from the whole it being the premier organization as far as the highest levels of the sport, and it's now becoming the premier entertainment division or premier entertainment organization. Maybe that's good for business. Maybe it isn't, but I don't know. It just kind of hurts the integrity of mixed martial arts a bit, but I guess who cares in the end? But that's just my thoughts.
The UFC did originally market itself as we have the best fighting the best. We're not boxing, so they've definitely shifted away from that, I guess.
Well, you could say that about other divisions too that get boring at times. I mean, like light heavyweight division isn't exactly great. Middleweight's not really great, except at the top. I mean, they're all kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, middleweight had its era though, at least. Middleweight has been good very recently, and hopefully it'll get better again.
So, do you think the UFC made the right move by cutting fighters like Shelton Almeida and like let's go back to like Ryan Fakhrov or whatever, and Basharat for now not being re-signed? Are you okay with that?
I saw Basharat fight, and I enjoyed his fight. I thought it was okay. I know it was a decision, but it was still it was a good fight. And it was the other guy, I believe, that lost weight, that missed weight.
Yeah.
So I didn't really appreciate that.
It was really short notice for the other guy, but I mean,
yeah. Even so, if you're going to accept the fight, you have to make weight. It's the end of, that's the one job you have. So if you don't think you can make the weight, don't take the fight. But I know you have to, with the UFC, you have to take opportunities sometimes. So with Basharat, I was not too keen on that him being released. Jailton's boring. He didn't used to be, and that's probably why I picked him for that bloody fight. But no, he's dull. You had the crowd in the Apex just booing. You don't hear that very often in a UFC fight.
Yeah.
Certainly not. I mean, maybe it was amplified by the fact that it was just in that small arena in the Meta Apex, or the Metapex, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
So I can see why it's a bad, it's a bad optic for the viewing public that don't know the fight game as well as people like us, I suppose, the casuals who are tuning in on just because it's on Paramount and just taking a look on a Saturday night. So I can see why they wanted to get rid of him. Like you said, dodgy business for the contract, but that's where the UFC has its merit. And Rinat Fakhretdinov, I can't really remember much about his fights, to be honest. But if he was on a winning streak, then if he won his last fight, you probably shouldn't boot him.
Yeah.
I would have to look at his record.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I don't know. I don't know. I hate it, but I mean, look, Enigma Master brings up another good point here about how heavyweights used to be the most entertaining and exciting, and lighter weights were disliked. I kind of always felt like the opposite, but I used to kind of buck the trend. Like I always thought that the smaller weight classes were more exciting. I was always kind of down on the heavyweight, but they used to be more kind of silly and fun, where now there's kind of a lot of boring, dull stuff. But there is a couple names come up at heavyweight that are kind of, maybe heavyweight division can get better with two names like Pocket and your Asplins and stuff going in there and being stupid. Maybe that's enough to.
Yeah. Yep. We need some entertainment there. I like Aspland. I think he's got some promise in the division. The fact that he's lost all that weight, I know he's kept the skin on as a reminder, as it were. But he's lost all that weight. He's got the frame that's used to carrying 400 pounds, 500 pounds, whatever it was that he weighed before. I can't remember the figure. So those bones in his leg must be hella strong. And the muscles, obviously, will still be there to some degree. And
I can go without his post-fight celebration, to be honest. But
yeah.
Besides that, he seems like a great guy. So.
Yeah, I liked him when I saw him on the Contender Series. I made a note of him for my draft, but someone stole him. I believe you. Was it you who stole him?
Yeah, I stole him.
Yeah. Well, you didn't steal him. He wasn't high on my list, but he was there as a reserve, certainly. And Josh Hockett, yeah, he's a bad version of Chael. He's got nowhere near the charm that Chael has. He hasn't got that charisma behind him. Someone posted a video on the Discord a few days back, and I did find that pretty funny. Maybe that's my slightly older sense of humor. But yeah, at least he's going through like Colby Covington thing almost. He's the heel. And if you love him, you love him, and if you hate him, you hate him. But either way, he's good for views. So it's a gimmick. He's maybe not the best at it. Like I said, he doesn't have the charm or the charisma of Chael, but he's getting notice and he's getting to fight. And Blood and Beast saying he's my goat. Good for you, man.
Yeah, they're both silly fun. So
yeah. That's what we need. That's what we need at the moment in heavyweight. It's been ruined by the fact that John Jones refused to fucking fight Tom Aspinall, or the UFC wouldn't tell us or admit that John Jones wouldn't fight Tom Aspinall, and then we've had the entire Cyril Gane eye poke situation. And that's added more delays to it. Now we're looking at potentially Poatan versus Gane, maybe at the White House, maybe somewhere else. That would have to be it should be for an interim belt, but I've seen plenty of people saying that Tom should be stripped of his belt, and then they can fight for the undisputed championship. So that would give Poatan the chance to be the first ever and maybe only ever triple champion in the UFC. So what do you think of that?
That's not a bad take. I don't know. I was I pulled the Luke Thomas and was kind of working on a editing thing while you gave that take. So I kind of missed what you were saying there. I'm sorry.
I was saying, should Tom Aspinall be stripped of his title, and should Cyril Gane and Poatan fight for the undisputed belt?
Tom shouldn't be stripped until I'd say like a year after his fight. And if he doesn't have a fight booked within a year, or at least a timeline for a return in a year, he should possibly get stripped. And no, I hate the fact that Cyril Gane is, in the mentions for an interim fight. I thought that he lost Volkov.
So did I.
And besides that, he fucking poked the champ, and he should have lost. Did they count it as a loss, or was it just a no contest? It should have been a loss.
It was a no contest. It should have been a DQ.
He poked the guy in the eye. I mean, it gives me kind of reminders of like when Yoel would like miss weight and get like a title shot right after that. Anyways, it's like I don't like it. No, I mean, if they make the fight, I won't hate it, but it's like, I'll watch it, but it's really kind of bothersome to me that he's getting a title shot, not over a course like Volkov. But I'm kind of a Volkov stan, and I think he'll lose, but I just like him. Ever since he got his hair combed in between the rounds at that one fight, I just kind of fell in love with the guy. And
yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. Yeah, I agree with you. There was a time, I will still be interested in seeing Gane fight Poatan. And we quite often, I think, suggested before, it's probably been mentioned on JBR before, that we would love to see that fight, but we didn't really expect it to happen under these circumstances. And like you said, Cyril Gann seems to have the game. Life must be a computer program, because Cyril Gann has the infinite title shots cheat logged in somehow. And he should have been DQ'd. He shouldn't get another shot at a title. But the only alternative is to let John Jones fight for the title against Poatan.
He's the new Holly Holm.
You what? Sorry.
He's the new Holly Holm. He was never a champ, but he's always getting title shots and stuff.
Yeah, they must be desperate for that French market. And they have what's his name, Benoit Saint-Denis. Use him. He's much better.
Yeah.
Canvas of Hotel will be awesome. Alex kills Cyril. I certainly hope so, BMV.
I mean, Cyril's good.
He is. He's very good. He's fast. If he closed his fist, he'd be really, really, dangerous and fair, as opposed to just being dangerous the way he fights right now.
Poor fight IQ, though. I mean, essentially one leg lock away from winning the belt against Francis. So.
That's true. Yeah, he fucked that one up. Just flick back to that comment there, please, Dave. What were we on there?
This one.
Yeah. No. That one you were on before. Forward one. That's it. Ganvas Poatan with the awesome. Alex kills Cyril. I think if you see that fight, we're going to look at Alex. Trying to, obviously, we'll do Alex things, and he's going to work on those leg kicks. And Cyril Gann likes to play that in and out fast game. So if Poatan can cause enough damage to Cyril's calves, then there's every chance he beats him. Because we know, we hope certainly that if he connects with that left hand of his at heavyweight, it's still going to do the same kind of damage he does at light heavyweight and that he used to still do at middleweight. I can't see him losing power by going up in weight, to be honest.
Yeah, Cyril's good. He doesn't often get hit hard, I don't think, though. Like, I don't know if he's ever been really hit. Or maybe, no, Tuivasa hit him pretty good a few times.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I think Tuivasa had him on the ropes, didn't he?
Yeah, so if Tuivasa can, Poatan for sure can.
I would hope so.
Yeah. No, so now that we've actually talked about it a bit and went through the ins and outs, I kind of am not liking the idea of cutting heavyweight as a division so much anymore. Let's give it a little bit more time and see how it shakes out.
Yeah, and there's Gable Stevenson, of course, lurking in the wings. He has every chance of becoming a prospect in the UFC.
Yeah, for sure.
Although we've yet to see, I don't think we've seen anyone really punch him hard in the face because he's killed everybody he's fought against. So that might be interesting because not wasn't it Brock Lesnar? I don't think ever liked getting punched in the face. Not that anyone likes getting punched in the face, except maybe Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker might be that one guy.
Maybe he gets hit and gets poked in the eye and takes the easy way out and never fights again.
Yeah, it's quite possible. You never know.
That's just me trolling about.
I know
that's true. But
I seriously hope Tom comes back. Tom said he's going to come back, so hopefully he will. I'm sure he's got the mental fortitude to get through the shit that's in front of him. He did it before with his knee, and it only made him more determined. And I think if he does have to fight Cyril for the belt next time, I think he's going to come forward and try and maul him. I don't think he's going to fuck about at all. He's just going to do that spear thing that he talked about before and just blast him off his feet.
Yeah, Blood and Beer makes a good point here. Gable is legit probably a terrible human being. But that seems to be kind of so common these days in MMA. It's like, I don't know. If nobody else cares, I do care, but it's like, it happens so often, it's hard to care so much. It's just like, I'm getting to the point where it's like, whatever. It's just, he's going to fight and it is what it is, but.
No, Gable Stevenson, apparently. Thanks, BMV.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not in the UFC yet. He's not in the UFC yet. I don't have to know his name completely well.
Yeah.
And the counter casuals, don't forget.
Yeah, he very well could be a heavyweight champ, though. I don't know. That fucking asshole Hawkett, man. Like, that dude fought like a Dagestani. Well, hold on.
Hello, Shattery. I think there's
Sorry
every
about
chance. Oh, it's all right. I was going to cover there. I think there's every chance Tom's going to come back strong. I don't think the layoff's going to hurt him overly. But he's using losing time in his prime because he can't even train at the moment. He can't even do any calisthenics or anything. I don't think he can weight lift. He's pretty much sat in his house.
Yeah, I found it interesting. He took a journalist with him to get his eye surgery, but I don't know. Just go back to like Hogan though. Like he's the shit that he says is so wrong, but like he fought like an absolute Dagestani for those 5 minutes before
He did.
it just went one round. But that was pretty damn impressive. I kind of wanted to go longer just to see what his cardio looked like, but then I kind of got disinterested after hearing him talk. But in the cage, it was pretty impressive for those 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you see this question from Enigma? Will Tom come back strong, or will the layoff hurt him in the end?
Yeah. I said it is. I don't think it's going to hurt Tom that much, but he's losing time in his prime, and he can't even train at the moment. That's what I was saying while you were dealing with Shattery.
Yeah. Yeah, he went with Pete C. Carroll. He's a friend, not just a journalist. But,
yeah, I didn't realize they were friends. Makes sense though. I know Tom's got connections in the Irish world of MMA.
Yeah.
And I suppose also you got someone else going within. It's not just Tom himself. I know. I don't know whose channel it came out on, or whether it just came out on X.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched The Crack on Uncrowned last Friday, and I think several times last week, Pete he hosts a show on Friday, and he's on the
I always
Uncrowned
forget it's on, to
Alliance
be
show.
honest. I catch bits of
Yeah.
it occasionally.
So he was kind of breaking it down a bit, or saying a little bit, but in the end, I find the memes kind of more funny than anything. But
I'll have to remember it's on after Prop Quiz, isn't it? On a Friday.
yeah.
Yeah. And shout out to Main Card Minute for my koozie that arrived on the weekend. And a very nice little note from Long Island Luke. Cheers, Luke. You'll probably never hear this, but much appreciated.
I think that covers the heavyweight division pretty good for the time being.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
There was some other news. One thing I thought was interesting is, Josh Thompson and some other podcasters have talked about Charles versus Max 2 happening, and the first time they like what's his name? Josh Thompson swears it was like a shoulder injury, and at the time UFC said it had to do with like a torn esophagus. And I guess it just came out the other day that they have no idea what it was that caused that injury. His coach said he was in the hospital feeling like almost paralyzed, and they never figured out what it was. And I guess it wasn't a esophagus tear. They have no idea what it was. So this is kind of interesting tidbit. Their first fight, I don't know. Were you watching MMA, or do you remember their first fight at all?
I do not remember. I was probably watching MMA, but I do not remember the first fight.
Yeah, I think they were just kind of like feeling each other out a little bit, maybe getting to a little bit, but it was pretty quick into the fight. And then Charles just kind of went down and collapsed against the cage and like grabbed the side of his neck and like waved it off, and they called it off. And I think he was dealing with some kind of coming back from a surgery or something at the time, and everyone was all worried about like a torn esophagus or something. But it was very unusual ending to a fight. Never. So
yeah,
they never figured out what that was. And then another story was Kane getting out of jail. I don't really have much to say about that, but it is nice for someone to be going home to their family. I'm pretty sure prison sucks.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Although I think, but judging by the pictures I've seen, he was getting pretty well looked after in there. I think he was probably popular enough. Although you never know. There's always people who want to prove themselves against a hard guy in prison. I have mixed feelings on it at the end of the day. If he'd have actually shot the guy who was the correct guy, the one he was aiming at, I would not have objected too much. But the fact that he managed to shoot the wrong guy and was also obviously hurling bullets down a freeway or whatever it was, I have to be slightly disapproving of that. And I say that as a UK shooter.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was actually surprised at how quick he got out. Like, I mean, I can understand having rage against the guy that did it and whatnot, but I was surprised how fast he got out.
Yeah. Well, he didn't kill
I
him,
mean,
did he? So.
no, the guy's dad, could have been complicit in the crime, but people could have been hurt, other people, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, no matter what's what, prison sucks. So he'll be. Prison normally sucks, so he'll be out of there
I would
and
imagine
back in
so.
his
Yeah.
sleep number bed and chilling with the family. And
Mm-hmm.
Wheels Up had a question here. Can you see this? Instead of catering
Yeah,
to
it's all
John
right.
Jones,
It's all right. It's all right. I've got the screen open on the
yeah,
thing. Instead of catering to John Jones' superficial retirement motives, how should the UFC heavyweight division prioritize the long-term investment in developing new hyper big athletes? Yeah, well, I'm certainly happy not to give any notice to John Jones whatsoever. If he did turn down, well, he has turned down $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall, then no, he doesn't deserve anything. It seems that Dana feels larger that way. That's why he's not being mentioned in any significant way for this White House card. Unless Dana is just playing his cards close to his chest, you never know. But yeah, no, fuck John Jones. I hate the guy. The only person I dislike more than him right now is Cyril Gann, because he actually poked Thomas in the eye, whereas John Jones just fucked him up by refusing to fight him for 18 months or whatever the hell it was. How about you,
yeah,
Dave?
I wouldn't be surprised myself if the UFC starts moving away from long-term investments and starts doing more short-term, where they don't have fighters with 30 fights anymore. And after like 15 fights, they just kind of send guys down the road and keep that 15 and 15, 12 and 12, keep the lower end of the.
I think you have to try and get some big guys in the sport. You need, if you're going to advertise things, you need people who are advertisable, if that's the correct word.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think the people will stick around if they win and like become champs. I just don't think of I think like the days of like seeing champs like Arlovsky or like Pettis stuck around for a long time after he lost it. Like I think we'll start seeing UFC parting ways with former champions a lot sooner than they normally
Oh, I
would.
don't know. I think they hang on to them because they know they have value. It's like why I'm still not. We still haven't heard exactly who Islam's going to be fighting next, and I would not be surprised in the slightest if it is going to be Kamaru Usman that he ends up fighting. I've heard someone else, I think, saying Ian Gary is a possibility.
Yeah.
But I see. I'm quite funny. I wouldn't really mind him seeing fighting Kamaru Usman. Usman has given Hamzat his toughest challenge yet at middleweight, and he doesn't. He's not even a fucking middleweight. If he hadn't have been 10-8'd in the first round, he might have won that fight.
It just feels like we're holding up the division and holding up
Yeah.
legit contenders. I mean,
I know what you mean. Again, Ian Gary is not my favorite fighter by any means. He's a bit of a decision machine, and he's as annoying as fuck. But I think he kind of almost. I wouldn't complain if he got the next shot at Islam Makhachev. He's the one guy who's taken Shavkat to decision and potentially, done a Cyril Gann to his leg with his oblique kicks. Well, I don't exactly know what caused that injury, but I know Ian Gary's claimed it, which is the kind of class that we're used to from Ian Gary these days. And I see Enigma Master agreeing with me there. He'd rather see Islam versus Usman instead of Ian Gary. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Yeah,
Well,
Morales
no,
would be. Oh, go on,
go ahead.
Dave.
Oh, I was just gonna address Zombie's comment. Yeah, with Jim Miller, I don't know. Like UFC seems quicker to get rid of these fighters these days. I like them to stick on to their old fighters and not keep the Jim Miller types around. I'm just not sure myself if they're gonna keep on doing that, but we'll see. Hopefully, Mouse is right, and they do. But all right, cut you off. You were talking about Morales.
I was just gonna comment on blood and beer there, saying Morales would be fun. Yeah, that's certainly one of the most dangerous fights for Islam in certain respects. I don't know how good Morales' wrestling is. We know that Islam's not afraid to take guys down. He's not afraid to strike either, which is why he's actually a very good champion. I know some people always claim, "Oh, he's a Dagestani. All he does is wrestle." Watch his fights back. He doesn't. He's a very good striker. Just ask Alex Volkanovski.
Yeah, part of the reason why I'm so excited for a Morales fight over like an Ian Gary fight is Morales might be bigger. He seems more physical and more explosive, and he's certainly got
Hmm.
more finishing instinct. And I would much rather see that fight. And I don't know. I suppose you could make an argument that Ian deserves it more, but UFC doesn't really tend to always go into the who deserves it more.
Yeah, well, Ian lost that fight to Shavkat, and then he came out, beat Bilal and Prates, wasn't it, in his last outing,
Yeah.
and pieced Prates up pretty nicely. So I
Well,
think
Prada's put it on him at the end of the fight, didn't he? Like
yeah,
after the
yeah,
last
just
round.
yeah, he did a kind of a Nate Diaz thing. He piled it on and right at the end, but didn't get there.
Hmm.
No, B&B they're saying Morales is supposed to have high level grappling, but he's reckless. I would have to go back and watch more of his fights, to be honest.
I tell you, in the Brady fight, he looked, I mean, we didn't get to see much of it, but he fought with like a really low stance, like he was ready for takedowns. And
Brady looked scared in that fight. He did not look good at all.
yeah, it was a hell of a performance from Morales.
Mhm.
After that was just a fight that a lot of people were like, man, we want to see this dude fight Islam, but
Yeah,
styles make fights, and MMA math is usually garbage. So
it would certainly be fun to see the two of them fight. I'm not saying that it wouldn't, but
yeah,
that 170 is probably the hottest division in the UFC at the moment. I know some of the slightly lighter weights might are pretty exciting at the moment as well. I can't think of which divisions initially, but yeah,
well,
welterweight is really up there. There's so many good fighters in there.
well, then I love watching some of these guys fights and fighters like Islam and Ilya Taporia. I'm not sure their shelf life and like how much longer they're going to fight, and so like any fight that they have, I feel like it needs to be taken advantage of. Like if they only have 2 or 3 fights left in their career, we have to make the most out of it. And if Ilya beats Gaethje and he says he wants a crack at the welterweight title, I imagine they will make that fight, and then welterweight gets held up a little bit
Mhm.
longer even. So
It is a potential super fight for sure. I don't think that's a very good fight for Ilya Taporia, to be honest. I think Islam probably murders him at 170, but you never know. Maybe his power might transfer upwards.
I do have a question here from Enigma about Nate and Nick returning. I don't know. For me, I actually have some interest in Nate returning to the UFC just because I think there's some fights that he can be competitive with and win, like the third Connor fight, or potentially even Dustin would come back for that matchup. But I don't want to see him fight contenders or anything like that. But Nate, if he's going to fight somewhere, he's proven that he can be kind of competitive with a lot of these guys. So I wouldn't mind a legend fight with him. And Nick, I have no interest in him returning whatsoever. His last fight was an absolute disaster, and I can't. And that was several years ago. Like, no, no for me.
Well, I'll go with Nick first. No, I've said it before on here. Nick's one of my favorite fighters, or was one of the first guys I really, really enjoyed watching when I first got into the UFC. as you just said, he fought Robbie Lawler and he quit in the middle of the second round, I believe it was. So yeah, no interest in seeing Nick come back. I've heard him making the usual ludicrous claims that you hear the Diaz brothers making about how he wants to come back and fight Hamza or whatever the hell it was he said. So
You're talking
no,
about title shots and all that
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
exactly,
garbage.
yeah, it's ridiculous. You were fantastic, Nick, but no more. I don't want to see you get hurt anymore either. I actually quite like Nick Diaz. Not the biggest fan of Nate Diaz. I think he's always, for me, he's always been. He kind of got lucky, and he didn't suffer the obviously marijuana ban that Nick suffered. So and then he got the big win against Connor that I've talked about the radio spoiling for me, so I found out the result before I saw the fight. Thank you very much, Radio One. Fuck you. So again, I said it on. I asked the question on Submission Radio tonight whether anyone, how many people, what percentage they thought of fans are actually interested in seeing Nate Diaz or Conor McGregor fight again. And for me, I have no interest in seeing either one of them. And I'm pretty sure Luke Thomas feels exactly that way, same way. I know he does about Connor. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of really biased towards Nate. Like I started really getting hardcore into MMA, like around Nate versus Michael Johnson. I mean, I watched before then, but I really started getting in depth around then. And when he beat Michael Johnson and then had the call out heard around the world, I was like the best call out I ever heard in my life. And he ended up getting the McGregor fight because of it. I don't know. I think he's still got some life left in him, and I love almost anything he
how
does
old
as
is
long
he?
as he.
He's like 41, isn't he?
I'm not sure. Let me look here. He is 40. 40 is the new 30.
I guess it could be.
I was actually surprised, like, because he seems like one of those 40-year-olds where it's like they move like they're 70, but he went 8 rounds with fucking Jake Paul. Like, he's not. He's still got some kind of thing.
Yeah, that's boxing, and I'm guessing Nate is still into his triathlons and stuff. Is he? He's still doing that kind of
Probably.
shit.
I'm not sure.
I know he's vegan. I'm sure he keeps
Yeah.
himself in trim.
Yeah.
1% zombie there saying, remember when Jorge was booked to fight Nick Diaz? I do not, to be honest. Thankfully.
I remember Nick being booked to fight, what's his name? Welterweight with the brain bleed.
Oh,
The brain bleed guy. Oh, what the fuck is his name?
I can't think of his name. Chat, put it in if you remember.
Either way, Nick Diaz had a fight with him, and but it never happened.
No, it's not Luke, is it? It's
yeah, Luque. Vincente Luque.
Was it Luque? Oh my god.
Yeah, they had a fight booked, and it was like weird, like why, but it never happened. Yeah, I could see Nick doing karate combat. That could be fun.
yeah, maybe.
Nick Diaz has some of the coolest karate kicks you'll see. Like he has some great kicks.
I know his
He can
hands
go beat up Sam Alvey. Front kick him in the face.
Yeah, I do like karate combat for the most part. I think they have some entertaining fights on. I watched some of the show this week. I didn't see it all.
I do enjoy the themes, and they do like theme cards and have like a nice backdrop, and they have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, and that I know it's not. What do they call it? The pit. They lay out there. Yeah, the pit. I really like that. That's kind of fun. It's different. You get the little bits of laying back, the little bits of ground and pound. You can hammer somebody on the ground for a little bit, but
did you see Wing C fight?
Which one? Sorry.
Did you see Wing C fight?
I did see the Wing C fight. I think.
Or he like ran around the.
Oh
side
yeah. They did fight. Yeah.
Yeah, they get pretty weird over there. That's fun.
Yeah. he's a crazy guy, but he's entertaining. I'm not sure how far he's going to go in the game, but he's done some training with DJ, I
Mighty
believe.
Mouse. Yeah.
Mighty Mouse, yeah.
You know who else has been training with Mighty Mouse is Armin Sarukian.
Yeah,
That could be very interesting if he picks up anything from him.
Indeed.
He's a great mind.
I also saw some of DJ's rolling with what's his name? Mikey
Musemi?
Mushemi. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Couldn't think of his surname there. And he just tied DJ up in knots in no time at all. It was hilariously.
Darth Rigatoni.
Yeah. That's the guy.
Yeah.
He's so good.
So we're about 40 minutes in. Do you want to give any thoughts on the upcoming MMA?
Yeah, we can do. We can do.
We got
a bit of a chat about it. I did, by the way, look up Rinat Fakhretdinov. Do you know the guy's on a 12-fight winning streak?
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Wow.
The only person he's lost to
recently, I'm just looking at his record now. The only person he's lost to recently was at Karate Combat 45, and it was Craig Jones in a grappling match.
He had a first-round KO in the fight that they caught him afterwards.
Yep, 54 seconds, round one. Andreas Gustafsson.
That's messed up.
Yeah, decision unanimous and a decision split. And a decision. Oh, no. That's yeah. So 3 fights in the UFC, won all 3. Had a finish in the last one and still got caught. That's pretty shitty UFC.
I just hope there was something else going on behind the scenes, because if they cut him just for being kind of boring off that KO win, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, there we go. We got the main card for next week up.
Yeah, it's actually Uros Medic is fighting Jeff Neal. That's a decent fight. He's been on I think he's had some good performances lately. Mikosa Costa is finally getting a shot at the top 15. That's very exciting to me.
Yeah, well, I've actually bought him in the fantasy MMA game that we're playing, so I'm hoping
Lazy's Jacoby Smith versus
in our draft.
Michelle Pereira with a good match.
Yeah, I did see you Jacoby Smith's fighting. I can't think of the name though. Is it Harris? I can't remember. I know we have a name for him. Michelle Pereira is a crazy guy. Who knows?
Yeah, I think Zachary Reese is kind of should be a highlight, like something for him to look great against.
I don't know much about Zachary Reese, to be honest.
I think he's kind of like a tall Viking-looking white guy.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
Spivak versus Ante Delija, who's coming off the KO by what's his name?
Yeah, he
in the pirate thing.
He like beat Waldo Acosta.
Waldo Acosta, thank you. Yeah,
and then he lost to him a minute later. Like the ref called off the fight, and then they restarted it.
Well, he didn't call it off officially, but
he waved his hands. That's
I'd have to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, it looked like he did. It was really weird. Either way, I don't really care about that fight too much.
No, so it's another heavyweight fight. That's probably not going to be that great. I think Delija can actually be fighting fairly decently. Spivak's not too much exciting, I don't think. Jeff Neal, always a tough competition. Was it Prates that took him out last time? Spinning elbow?
I believe so.
No, yeah, it was, yeah. Well to it. And the main event, which is probably what I've got more to say about than anything else. Strickland versus Hernandez. Very close in age, just 2 years between them. All the stats are fairly similar, to be fair. Nothing in reach, Sean with a slight 1-inch reach. Much more experienced. 29-7 versus 15-1. I see that Sean's not the favourite, which I kind of understand.
Yeah, that much of an underdog seems like a bit much, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not much more of a closer to not a
Like
pick 'em
plus
exactly,
130 or
but
something. Yeah.
yeah, I always get confused with how you Americans do your odds. I'm much more used to like 2-1, 3-1, whatever that way.
Yeah, I don't know. We
Yeah,
could look here. Like, Flurry's got coming off a bunch of wins over the leads, Allen, Piera, or Strickland. I think he's lost, beat Costa. That was a split decision versus Costa. That's not a good sign.
yeah, true. I don't think Costa was very aggressive in that fight, though, was he?
No, I don't think he's been very
Well,
aggressive
he's moving
since
up
the
to light
Rockhold
heavyweight.
fight.
He's moving up to light heavyweight.
Yeah.
But no, I think Sean's got every chance of causing Hernandez a lot of problems. Sean's weapons, we all know, are his jab and his teep. And if we know that Fluffy likes to come forwards, and guess what works pretty well against guys who want to come forwards, even when you're going backwards, that jab is going to cause damage, and that teep is also going to hurt if it lands. That if Hernandez can't start getting coming forwards, then he could be in a lot of trouble. But I don't know. I don't. It's not a cardio thing with this. I don't think Sean Strickland does have great cardio. We've often seen him just finish a 5-round fight almost without breaking sweat. But I don't think Fluffy's going to give him that kind of fight. I probably will be picking Fluffy for this one, but I think that Sean cannot be ignored in this one. You should not take it, especially if he fights the way I saw him fighting recently in doing some sparring, getting ready for the fight, presumably, because he was throwing bombs. He knocked out a guy recently, one of his sparring partners, with a head kick. So maybe we get to see the Sean that we want to see, the guy who really is going to come and give us a war. I'm not optimistic, but because
No.
Sean fights the way he fights. And
Yeah.
I've been a fan of Sean for a long time for the way he fights. I think it's clever, but I would like to see him be a bit more exciting. I don't, if he fought the way he fought and just said, "Yep, okay, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to beat the guy," and that was all he said, it'd be fine. But don't go in there promises blood, sweat, and tears when you're going to fight behind a jab for the entire fight. Love you, Sean, but maybe getting married will have changed him. Who knows? He's had a year off.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think that Fluffy's gonna win, and I'll tell you
Yeah,
exactly
I think he
why
will.
he's gonna win. The fighting spirit, and it sounds silly, but Fluffy's never had a title shot. He's on a hell of a streak. He's on his way up, and he's got to have just the absolute burn and the fire to get like a title shot and become a champion. Like, he's probably given his all, and Strickland's been through all this before, and he's on the way down. And there's a chance that he could win and get another title shot and stuff. But in all realistically, in his overall career trajectory, he's on his way down. And it's hard to have that same fire and that drive and just give everything after you've achieved what you've wanted to achieve and then lose it and kind of go your way back. So I think it's a good stylistic matchup, and Sean's a hell of a fighter, and he does what he does very well with the iCarly style of winning fights. But Anthony Hernandez is very good, and his will to win is going to give him everything. I mean, he's going to win. Probably push him against the cage. Just win like how he always does. He's going to do what he does to everyone recently, and probably a lot of work against the cage and stuff. And I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure what Sean's takedown defense is. I don't have his. Let me have a look. In fact, I've got Topology open. Let
Like,
me have a look.
if we're talking like just their skills and their like overall records and stuff, I think the odds should be much closer, like Sean plus 150, Fluffy minus 130. But with their career trajectories and stuff all factored in, and the fact that Sean's already been a champion, and Fluffy's trying to hit his dreams, it's like those odds might actually be fair.
Yeah, I think Fluffy's certainly going to be the hungry of the
Plus, I think he's got a bunch of kids that he has to pay for.
That's quite possible. That Waldo Cortez Acosta's problem as well.
Fluffy gets him out of there in 4 minutes or 4 rounds, Zombie. Probably 4 rounds.
God.
Hey, Nance. Yeah, so it's a nice fight for the Apex. It's shit for a Fight Night main event. It's really good actually compared to another Derek Lewis main event or some no-name jabronis that we don't really care about. So
yeah, that's true.
And I don't think Fluffy will let Sean be too boring. Like, I don't know. I think we're going to get what we expect, and Fluffy's going to get the decision win, but it's probably going to look how most people think it's going to play out.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to be able to put Sean away. I know everyone says that Sean has great BJJ, so hopefully he does. And he's very good at getting up. That's one thing Sean is very, very good at. If you ever watch any of his gym sessions where he's teaching it, he'll be shouting at fighters like, do not stay down there. You do not stay down there. Get back up. Get back up. So, and I don't think that's going to have changed in his style.
Yeah, it looks like he's got 76% takedown defense.
Oh, that's pretty decent then, I guess. Yeah, shout out Beaver in chat there, and John Ray MMA. There you guys, and Andrew Nance. Hey, old man. Strickland's a killer when it comes to fighting influence on kick for a jab merchant against anyone who fights for a living. I was watching a little clip of a video with him from the Jackson podcast, I think it was, today. And it was, oh God, Abdul Malik.
Yeah.
Yep. He fights is he an Extreme Couture guy? He was there, and Nick Sick was there, and they were asking Malik what he thought of Sean Strickland. And he said he's a fantastic guy, brilliant teammate. He says, if you're training and you need somebody there, you say, can you train on Thursday at 9 a.m? And Sean is there at 8:30. He's that kind of guy. And for all he said, they were talking about the gym culture at Extreme Couture. And they were talking about the bullying kind of aspect. But I think Sean said recently, if you come to the gym and you're just here to mess around and you just want to try yourself against our fighters, then we're going to beat the shit out of you. And that's the culture that they have there. And he said it's not something that Sean goes around the back of the gym and says to everybody, look, this new guy's in and all he's here to do is try and test himself against us. So let's just beat the shit out of him. No, he says it up front. He says it when the guys come in. He goes, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing at this gym? Are you here to test us out and see and think about coming here and being a part of this gym? Or are you here to just have a week and get some sparring in? Because if you're here to get some sparring in, we're going to give you some sparring. And that is the culture there, apparently. And Nixick was, yep, that's cool. That's how it is. And Malik was, yep, that's cool. And I'm sure Curtis would
Chris
say
Curtis?
the same. Yeah, Chris Curtis, yeah. So, yeah, if you go to Extreme Couture, don't mess around. And as for the influencers, I don't have a lot of sympathy for them, to be honest. I don't really like that part of the internet culture. It's just a shame Sean didn't knock more of them unconscious. The only one I respected, the only one I respected was I think it was a Navy SEAL or something that came in, and he'd actually done some professional fighting, and Sean beat the living hell out of him. He could have knocked him unconscious, I think, at any time he wanted to, but he wanted to make him quit, and he beat the hell out of his legs. He beat the hell out of his body, and that guy just kept getting up. So respect to him. That was, it
Yeah.
is what it is. If you want to step into the cage with Sean Strickland, don't expect him to play patty cake with you. Or maybe he'll go as hard as you go if you're just there and you say, I'm just here, I just want to do a little bit of training. I'm not here to be a
So
pro or whatever.
are you saying he fights new training partners like Walter Walker fights disabled people, earn 30%?
I did not see that fight, and I'm never going to see that fight.
Oh man, he went at it, but
I don't blame him. So he should.
yeah,
If the other guy is in the cage with you, he's signed up. Yeah, give him what he's come to ask for. We were talking about on the Discord the Gaethje fight against
Nick Newell.
Nick Noel,
Yeah,
which is one I cannot watch. I hate watching that. The guy with a stub of an arm, but he stepped
yeah.
in the cage. He stepped in the cage with Gaethje. He wanted to fight him. I don't feel
Well,
the person I feel bad for in these situations is the fully able fighter. Gaethje and Walker, because
well,
if they happen to struggle, if they take it ever so slightly easy for any crazy reason, which they shouldn't, because these guys are obviously dangerous in some respects, they wouldn't be in the cage if they weren't. But yeah, they look bad. You look bad if you beat the guy up, and you look bad if you don't beat the guy up. It's a no-win situation.
well, some people went in there thinking it was going to be like a fun thing, and you just kind of highlight two fighters, be like Craig Jones versus that giant lady.
Yeah,
Some or like almost like an exhibition type of thing, and
yeah, no, I don't really like it, and I can see 1% Zombie agreeing with me there. I think I fell
but
asleep. I went to bed before the whole fight, unfortunately. But yeah,
if Zion didn't tap, he was getting his head popped off because the grip strength, the choke. Walker's got some nasty chokes too. He's not just a.
Oh, he's good at his BJJ. He's clearly very good.
That's a good take. They need to. Allegedly, they need to pay their employees. But, no, so
It's a
next week is
it's
going to be a fun week back to the Apex next week, and I'll mostly be looking forward to seeing Costa finally get a shot at the top 15, and Dan Ige is probably the perfect matchup for him, and maybe Uriel Smedic finally gets in the rankings and looks good. I think he's had some setbacks, but he's looked great recently, so all in all, it's a decent card besides the heavyweights.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I don't see any fights I won't hopefully enjoy at any rate.
Be interesting to see who ends up fighting Jacoby Smith.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Maybe he might be booked now. I'm not.
It is booked. Lazy mentioned it in main card minute tonight.
Oh, Josiah Harrell. I have no idea who that. Okay, I don't care. He's undefeated.
Oh, he was Josiah. What? Sorry,
Josiah Harrell. He's 7-0.
All right, I did say Harris,
Grappler.
didn't I? So I was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just another guy that's been fed into the grinder there, probably. Jacoby Smith's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, well, we're coming up on an hour here. You want to kind of
we can we can just quickly mention one championship there, I guess. Bivor saying he watches one championship, refusing to watch Karate Combat until they start playing their employees. Yeah, I can't blame it. They'll have to get onto the one championship level of managing to find outside investors and giving them money.
I think they just switched from Prime to are they on ESPN now, Viva? ESPN Plus, or do you need ESPN Unlimited to watch them? I think they changed their streaming platform recently.
I'm not sure. I used to watch one all the time on YouTube, and then for some stupid reason they stopped showing it on the UK YouTube, and I can't be bothered to half the time to go and fire up a VPN to watch it, and I've forgotten about it. It's fallen out of my habit. It used to be fairly regular. I would come downstairs on a Friday and throw one while I was having a coffee or whatever. Which is kind of shame. I like one in 4 ounce Muay Thai, fantastic. The rare MMA fights they had were pretty good for the most part. Not really interested in BJJ, but I'd watch them
Yeah, I
if they were
guess
on.
at least in USA, they're on ESPN Plus now. I looked it up. They signed a multi-year deal, so
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't get ESPN Plus. I have to go through other options.
yeah, I guess the deal was just signed like 4 days ago or something. In Australia, they're on ESPN, but still Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, I believe also I'll have to check because I do have Amazon Prime, but I believe again in the UK we don't get them on Prime for some crazy reason. But I will have to check. I keep forgetting I've got Prime. I just use it for deliveries. I don't really care about any other functions it has.
Yeah, me neither.
Just gets my bourbon delivered faster.
Yeah.
Getting a very healthy
Oh,
collection at the moment.
okay. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, for sure. We will be back, guys. We will be back on Sunday with actually a proper show. Next Sunday with a proper show, reviewing the fights from UFC Texas, Houston, Texas, where hopefully some online friends of mine, the Barnell brothers, so at least one of them will be in attendance. So we might get some fresh news from them that I will report on JBR. Until then, it's goodbye from me, Dangermouse. It's goodbye from Dave.
Goodbye. Hopefully Austin and Lazy will be here next week.
Yeah. The regular gang should be in attendance, and Dave can creep back into his basement and do what he does.
Cellar.
Do what he does best. Cellar, yeah. So, it's cellar now,
Yeah.
is it? Not a basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a it's a bottom floor, but it's like but it's furnished basement kind of. I don't know. Got a gym down there. It's
we
nice.
might have different interpretations of it in
One of
US
these
and
days we'll
UK.
go live from the cellar and we'll give everyone a peek.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. All right. Let's get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
see you,
here.
man. See everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining
Thanks
us
for
in chat,
watching.
and we will see you very soon.
Join
Like
the
and
Discord.
subscribe. Yeah, for sure.
Love you all. Like Chad.
And topology.
And topology. Fuck you, Austin.
Definitely. Fuck you.